How many of you are like me? You have used Dropbox or Google Drive or some other source to store all of your documents for years and years and years, and it's just a mess. One of the coolest, mind blowing things about AI is when you can allow it to help you to get organized. Today, I'm using Cowork, Claude Cowork, for the first time to help me to organize my Google Drive. And folks, I've been using Google Drive for decades, a long time, over 20 years. I've got information that I have plugged in to Google Drive, and it is a disaster. So I've gone in and I have teamed up with Cowork. And it's one of those things that as you watch it work, you kind of think, this is magic. This is cool. Like, it's so amazing what it can do. So I wanted to just, in the process of doing this, just wanted to just share my screen just so you can kind of watch what is happening. So what it has done is basically I connected Cowork. So what I've got open is my Claude app. Okay. So it's on my computer, on my laptop. I've got chat, which is just your regular LLM, just have a conversation with it. I've got Cowork. Okay. What Cowork does is it allows you to, well, co-work together. You team up on your computer, you ask it to do things and it does it. Right. And then you've got code, which is another video for another day when you're actually creating things, making websites, apps, Python scripts, that kind of thing. Okay. But today we're in Cowork. So what we did first is we went in to Google and got connected. What it did is it ended up opening up a browser and went directly to my Google Drive. Now, again, you got to give it permission to do this. I have not given permission to my OpenClaw to get into my personal account yet. Still a little bit fearful of some of the horror stories I've heard on that side. So, not done that yet, but as far as Claude goes, it feels a little bit more comfortable, feels a little bit more controlled. Okay. So I've just been going back and forth. And basically, I said, listen, I want a total of 6 folders. And they basically have to do with my 5 active businesses and my personal life. So I wanted to create one called Dustin Harris Personal, and then one for each of my businesses: Peak Value Appraisals, the Appraiser Coach, the Goats of Glacier Farm, et cetera, et cetera. And what it did is, and what it is doing is, it just continues to go through and basically think about the best way to approach this. Folks, I have hundreds, thousands of documents, right? The idea of organizing thousands of documents on my own is like overwhelming. Okay. Doing it with Claude Cowork is like, it's magic. I've got a buddy that it's basically coming back and it's just asking me different questions. So as you can see, it's just kind of moving. Now, you can't see the screen over here, but on the screen over here, I actually see it actively working on my my Google Drive. So it's going through and I see it clicking and it opens up things and it's telling me over here on the app what it's doing. But again, I could close this down. It could keep doing its thing, right? I don't have to see it, but it's fun to watch. I'm watching this over here. It's coming back over here. It comes back and it asks me questions. What do you want to do with this? What do you think you want to do with this? Now, the cool thing is it's doing most of it on its own. If it asked me about every single document, I'd be like, I might as well do it myself, right? You know how you ever feel that way? It's like, why am I delegating it to you when it would just be faster for me to do it myself? Cowork is not that way. It is smart. Now, it does come up with questions once in a while. Okay. For example, it got a little bit confused a little while ago because it came up with appraisal precision. And it's like, where does appraisal precision fit? And I said, oh, yeah, good point. I've had the same appraisal office for over 30 years. And it started out as Dustin Harris Appraisals. It moved to Harris Appraisals. It moved to Appraisal Precision and Consulting Group. And now it's called Peak Value Appraisals, right? So I instructed it and said, hey, no matter what you find, if it's appraisal related, right? Not appraisal coach related, but appraisal related, it goes in Peak Value Appraisals because that's the name. Don't change the name of the documents, right? But it will be related. The other thing I instructed it to do right up front, I said, I want to be very clear. And I said, I want you to repeat this back to me. I do not want to delete anything. If you don't know where something goes or it looks unimportant, put it in an archive file. I don't care how disorganized that archive file is. We'll deal with that later. What I don't want to do is have you, Cowork, decide, oh, this looks like it's not important, I'm going to delete it. Okay. I don't want that to happen. So if it doesn't look important, put it in an archive file. Anything else looks important, go ahead and let it be organized into one of those 6 folders. So now I have 7. Okay, 5 active businesses, Dustin Harris Personal, and then the archive file. Folks, it is blowing my mind what it does. It's going through and organizing everything. Right, it knows where to put it. As you can see, look, resumes moved. I can now go to the remaining of the loose files more clearly. Let me select the ones that it knows what it's doing. It is absolutely blowing my mind. Magic. This is what AI was invented for, folks.